Welcome back, everyone. Most of us can't wait to hear our next guest's opinion, while others just simply tremble at the thought. To those people, just settle down out there. It's his opinion. It's not war. They are merely words. Of course, he's the Oregonian's John Canzano, always finding time for us. 11 days away. I cannot wait. I think we got to start this civil war tomorrow.
It's like a Super Bowl, the run-up to it, and I think if we could all take a magic pill today, not that I'm advocating for any kind of use of it, but if we could all take a magic pill and have 11 days just melt, I think we'd all agree that this would be a good thing. It's going to be a lot of hype, a lot of build-up, but we've got two great programs who found two alternate routes to get to the same place, so, you know, it's great.
And how Oregon got it done yesterday in hostile territory, you know, a place that they have had very little success in, really speaks volumes about how far they've come.
I love the way they won. It was more impressive to me that they came from behind in the fourth quarter, you know, and Chip Kelly, great play calling in the overtimes. I thought, you know, he out-coached Mr. Stoops over there in Arizona, but I love the way they won. It gives me more confidence in them as a program, and I think regardless if Oregon State wins this game, the Big Ten representative, Ohio State, is in big trouble. I think both of these teams can beat Ohio State.
Okay, for the Beavers, of course, this is the second straight year that they're in this situation where they have an opportunity to go to the Rose Bowl, and they've got to beat the Ducks. So, your thoughts on Oregon State's chances at going into Eugene and winning?
Well, I give the advantage to Oregon right now, but they play the style of ball that Stanford plays. They play the style of ball that Boise State plays. So from that standpoint, I think if you're an Oregon State fan, you know, the memory of all those roses on the turf last year at Reser Stadium and all that huge letdown, you don't have to live with that. I think they have a chance in this game because they play that style, and it's been effective. If people run the ball against Oregon, they have a chance. And Arizona did that a little bit.
For the Oregon Ducks, to answer this for me, for the Oregon Ducks to win the Civil War, they have to do what?
They have to not turn the ball over, and they have to play a little defense.
Okay.
Can I give you two things?
Yeah, absolutely.
They have to play a little defense because Oregon State's offense is maybe the best offense in the conference. And I know Oregon fans are going to cringe at that, but they have just moved the ball on everyone since the USC game.
Yeah. Flip side, for the Beavers to win, we talked about they have to rush the ball effectively. Anything else?
They have to run the ball. If they run the ball and win that time of possession battle and get Jaquiz Rogers going, then Oregon could be in a little trouble. But this is going to be a great game. This is going to be great. This is good for us.
I know.
Right?
It's incredible. Yeah. I guess we know what we're going to be doing on New Year's Day, right?
What ticks me off, though, is the people out there who are saying, well, I'm going to root for both teams. Yeah. You have to pick a side in this game.
That's true.
I am envious of all the fans at Oregon and Oregon State who get an opportunity to have all that emotional investment in this game, and you are too. As a journalist, we're covering this stuff, but we don't get that big payday at the end if one of these teams wins, and there are going to be a whole lot of people out there celebrating.
We should just call this our Rose Bowl, right? Yeah, why not? All right, moving on. Portland State, obviously on the hunt for a new football coach. You have been on Willamette's Mark Speckman from the very beginning. Why?
I think he's a great coach. He's a guy, you know, he's born with a handicap. He has no hands. He's a guy who's won places where they have never won before. He's a guy also who has to think outside the box in his daily life, whether it be tying his shoes or playing racquetball or writing, you know, or using his cell phone. He has to think outside the box. And I think Portland State is a program that really needs to start thinking outside the box. And, you know, not lost here. He's 19-3 over the last two seasons. He's had success. It's time to consider. I know a source at Portland State tells me that Mark Speckman will interview in the next 48 hours for that job. They've had a phone interview already. So I'm hopeful that they'll see, you know.
I think, honestly, they need a defensive-minded coach. They need to stop the bleeding defensively. And I think you look at Greg Lupfer, who is, of course, a former standout player and then the former defensive coordinator. And I think he's the guy for the job. But, hey, we all have our own personal tastes in it. And I think he's got a great pool of candidates nonetheless. Yeah,
he's going to pick a local guy. And he says he's going to pick somebody who knows the state of Oregon and knows the region. So I think we can all live with that. But I think Speckman would win there. There are some other guys that would win. But I know Mark Speckman would win.
That fly offense, though, very gimmicky. Hey, let's talk about Jerry Glanville real quick because he was wearing a lot of hats. I mean, I think the players are ready for this refresh and a new change over there on the park blocks. But was that the issue with him, just too much responsibility for Jerry?
Well, you look at his coaching career. He never really won big anywhere. And I think Jerry Glanville ultimately is a great position coach, maybe a defensive coordinator. He's a great guy to have on a staff. You put him in charge of everything, and I think things fell through the cracks. And I know his falling out with Mouse Davis really hurt the program, but you know they just weren't impressive. They weren't getting the quality of athlete that I think everyone else expected them to get. Everyone wanted to see results. I wanted him to win. He's such a nice guy. You know, his wife walking around handing sandwiches out downtown to homeless people. I mean, you love people like this, good people, the Glanvilles. But you need to win. At the end of the day, you know, Jerry Glanville's mad at me for not supporting him, but at the end of the day, you have to win more than 3 games. You have to give me some ammo if you want me to support you, and I think, you know, that was the end of him.
Yeah. Let's move on to the Blazers. Travis Outlaw's injury, they're down to 11 healthy bodies. Is it time possibly to make a change or look ahead to who might be out there? I think that Rudy Gay could be had, and that would really shore up the 3 spot, and I can imagine him in that starting lineup.
I think this team's had so many problems with chemistry early that doing something big right now, something else, might screw them up even further. Right? They're winning games right now. They've been successful. I have a bigger appreciation for what Travis Outlaw is as a player than I did at the beginning of the season. Now that he's gone, you know, don't know what you had until he's gone, right? And so Travis Outlaw's gone, and you get an opportunity now to appreciate his game. But I think you don't want to leverage the future. You don't want to give up Jared Bayless or Rudy Fernandez or somebody trying to get Rudy Gay. If Rudy Gay's out there and it's a sweetheart of a deal, you do it. But I think Kevin Pritchard, you know, and he told me this on Friday, he's content to kind of sit and wait, see what's out there. He's not particularly active, doesn't want to make a mistake at the expense of the future of the franchise. I think that's the way to go. They're winning games. Just win, baby. I mean, that's normally I'd be all over them. Hey, they're not winning right. They're not playing the right way. They're winning. Let's just leave it at that right now.
Crazy lineup changes, 3 guards, but it's been working. You're right. All right, I want to touch real quick on your Bald-Faced Truth Foundation, a great charity event, as we mentioned in the first segment. You raise money to help kids in Oregon and Washington stay active, whether it's the arts, education, extracurricular activities. You need to be commended for this, first of all, because this is quite a balancing act that you're doing with everything. But we're seeing some shots of you at Northern Arizona here, the Portland State game. All nonprofit, and you've already helped out tons of kids, right?
Yeah, you know, it's amazing. We had teachers come forward and say, you know, normally teachers are paying for these extracurricular activities out of their own pocket. And we have a large number of kids whose parents can't afford it, or the schools can't afford to, you know, subsidize what they used to do. Over $100 million in budget cuts in the last year in Oregon State schools. But I think, you know, it's amazing what you can do for as little as $20, $50, $100. You know, we sent Barnes Elementary, the kindergartners, their field trip got canceled this year. 157 kindergartners were told, hey, you know, we can't handle it this year. The foundation stepped up, paid for that. We've had, just last week, a kid came forward. He's a middle school kid at Reynolds Middle School. He wanted to play basketball. Dad's not in the picture. Mom can't afford to pay the $22.50 for basketball. And it really came down to us. Are we going to fund the $22.50 so this kid can play basketball? You and I can get together and say, there's no way that kid should have to make that decision. So, you know, it isn't my foundation. I co-founded it. It belongs to all of us. And it was a big day Friday. We raised about $20,000 for local kids, and a lot of people stepped forward. I've heard from a lot of people in the last couple of days saying, you know what, this is a good thing. Get involved in it. And I think it all belongs to all of us. The cost of $22.50, if you run it through the system, the red tape, the bureaucracy, is like $122.50. When you allow an organization from the outside to come in and just write a check, it really is $22.50 that can make a difference, and that's the difference. And I want to thank you for being a part of that.
No,
you were out there bagging groceries, drawing attention to it.
Just going back to my youth,
baby. Star.
That's right. For more information, go to baldfacedtruth.org. You can learn more. He's doing great things, and Thanksgiving right around the corner, giving you thanks. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.